good morning, and welcome to Woman with Tammie Tubbs. It's a great day to be alive, you all. I know that you're springing forward into the woman that God has called you to be. Have a wonderful guest with me here today. I'm so elated that she's joined me. She is an award-winning author, a life coach, motivational speaker, but more importantly, she has a heart for our youth. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming Miss Megan Onan. Welcome, welcome, welcome. God bless you. How are you?
I'm fabulous. Thank you so much for having me.
It's a great day to be alive, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's a great day to be alive every day.
You know, one of the things when we as women, we always think about ourselves, you know, how can I improve this and how can I make this better? But with you, when I first met you, the first thing that came to myself, she is just so selfless. She doesn't even think about herself. Yeah. And so I want our audience actually to see that side of you on today. Mm-hmm. I want them to really feel your passion and how they can connect with you and help our children. But one of the things that I learned the most that really, really impacted my life is life on purpose. God has designed us for life on purpose. So can you just tell us a little bit about life on purpose?
Sure. Actually, I developed Life on Purpose a few years ago as my life coaching business. Mm-hmm. And I'm a counselor by trade, so I have a master's in counseling and I have a master's in something else. I can't even remember what it was. But I have plenty of degrees. Anyway, mm-hmm. It eventually led me into life coaching and wanting to do something more, to really push people to take steps forward rather than just kind of sitting in their problems, staying in the victim role, and not wanting to go out and take action. Yeah. So I wanted to help move people forward and living a life on purpose and discovering their purpose. Because that's, I think, what keep people held back is they're not really sure what they want to do first. Mm-hmm. And once they figure out what they want to do, then it's easier to take action.
That's right.
So that's what it's more or less about, is just really finding that purpose and what you want, and then taking those steps and taking that action forward, and then just trusting the faith.
God, of course, yes. Now you said the victim role with the society the way it is. A lot of people are still having, I guess you could say, turmoil in their finances, even with their children. Right. When there are no finances, sometimes things go lacking in the homes and the children will become rebellious. There are a lot of, I guess you could say, things that happen in the home. Right. But you've actually seen it firsthand in the school systems, haven't you?
Oh, of course. It's all around us. Mm-hmm. It's in society in general. And I think that's typical for people. There's just a lot of pressure going on in the world right now. Mm-hmm. And so the question becomes, what are we going to do about it? Yeah. And as a personal choice, you can look at fear in the face and say, okay, I'm going to start acting into that fear. Or you can say, hey, you know, I just want to stay here because it's uncomfortable and we're happy being uncomfortable. Yeah. And so a lot of people choose that. But what you can do, no matter where you are, if you're in the school system, if you're a parent, if you're in a relationship that you're unhappy with, whatever it is, if you're struggling financially, you just decide to take those steps into that fear. So if you're afraid of not making enough money, well, go find an extra job for now to relieve that tension so that you can then concentrate on other areas of your life. Yeah, yeah. So the idea is to just step into that fear, act on it, and then you'll say, you know, it's really not that bad after all.
It's not that bad after all.
It's really not that bad.
No. You just have to do it. Said that. You just have to walk in and do it.
That's right.
Now, there's a part of your book, Heaven on Earth, that I love, and it says fear is a choice. It really is a choice.
Yes, it is.
We decide if we're going to be fearful because God has made us fearfully and wonderfully made. So share a little bit about that statement. Fear is a choice.
Well, when you think about fear, I think about, you know, what is this really about? Mm-hmm. What are we truly afraid of? And if you think about that for a second, what am I really afraid of? Yeah. I think for most people, we're afraid of being rejected and we're afraid of not being loved. Mm-hmm. And when you realize that and you look at your actions and your choices, then you start to see that, hey, if I'm just afraid of not being accepted and not being loved, then it makes it a little bit easier to go ahead and act into that fear. So that's why I say fear is a choice. If you want to continue to stay there, then you can, and that's fine. That's your choice. But if you want to move beyond that fear, then realize what that fear is about. Yeah, and then once you can recognize that fear and see it for what it is, then it's easier to take a step forward.
And one thing about it, when you're fearful and you're full of fear, you're worrying, you're stressing, you're always looking over your shoulder to see, you know, what's going on. Is somebody going to attack you? that's, I believe, the worst state to be in when you're full of fear. There are people who have phobias. You know, they will not go outdoors because of germs, and I call them the germ bites. That's the term that I call them. You know, it's just a phobia. But the thing of it is, God provides for us. He's going to take care of us. They tell us even with our food, don't eat this and don't eat that. And I'm just listening like, well, what can we eat? I mean, if you think the way the world is today, they'll have you fearful of eating an apple. Well, you don't know what they put on there when they waxed it. I'm just like, but an apple a day, I was taught, keeps what, you know, away. So the thing of it is, fear is a choice. And I love how you said that. Now, in life coaching, everybody's popping up now, they're a life coach. What makes Megan different when you say a life coach?
That's a really good question, Tammie. I think what makes me different is I'm really willing to meet people where they are. And I'm not going to push them beyond what I know is comfortable for them unless I really feel the need to. So I really trust my intuition, and I don't have a set structure of the way a person should fit into a model or whatever it may be. So for me, it's just about trusting that process that that person needs to go through or what they want to go through, and helping them to uncover what they really want out of life. And I think when you get into a life coaching situation, that you should be able to get to the meat of that person's life purpose pretty quickly. And if you can do that, then it's going to be really easy to help them unfold and to take action and do the things they want to do. So to me, it's important that you take steps forward and you meet the person where they are.
That's true.
And of course, you want them to trust you, so you have to be very present and be there with them and be willing to take care of yourself in the process. So I'm constantly having to take care of myself so that I can help people.
That's true.
So that's the biggest commitment, is taking care of myself.
Now, what is this thing that I've heard and I've read on your website? Most people say, I don't know if I can do that. I just need a push. Well, you personally say, I believe in you until you do.
Yes.
I love that. Most people are not willing to invest. A lot of people, it's all about me, but your heart is just so huge. I mean, it's humongous. When I met you, I was like, wow, I thought I was really doing something. No, I'm just scratching the surface. I'm like, she is really out there in the world with our kids, with the parents, in the school system. You're going to board meetings. I mean, you're in there hearing everything and saying, hey, God, what can I do to make this situation better? So, just encourage someone, if you will, that may be having a hard time, just finding the courage, just to find the mustard seed, just to believe that they can survive, that they can make it, that they can get out of this, you know, turmoil that they're in. Because if you believe in them, sometimes people just need to know that somebody cares.
Yeah,
they just really need to, that somebody actually cares. So if you would just look into the camera, just encourage them right now.
Well, first of all, I have to say thank you for that. That really means a lot to me. I'm very humbled by it. So I think what I would say to everyone is, I really do believe that everybody has something great to give the world, and that everyone has the courage to do it. And sometimes it will take a little bit of an extra push for you to do it, but there are people out there who will believe in you until you do. And everyone can find somebody that will be there for them to help them through that process. That person that is accountable, that person who will pray for you, that person that will do whatever you need them to do that can meet you where you are so that you can move forward. And if it's not me, it certainly is someone else. And I definitely encourage you to go out and just go for what you want. Life is too short.
Yes!
There's so much to see, there's so much to do, and I believe we're here to create our heaven on earth, like you were talking about. And go do it.
It's time.
Don't wait.
Look, live your best life now. We only get to live once. And I was in a conversation with someone, and they asked, what do you want to be remembered for? And I said, I don't think you can grasp what I'm about to say. And I said, it's not the houses, it's not the cars, it's not anything that I have. I said, at the end of the day, I said, at my funeral, I want people to say, oh, she got on my nerves. She made me do this. She forced me to do this. She would not let me quit. I said, I want people to actually say I affected their lives at one point in time to propel them into who they were supposed to be. I said, I don't want them crying. I said, that's not who I'm about. I said, when you see me, you see life. So when you were saying that, it is time for us to live heaven on earth. Now, you're about to transition into an even bigger project here on earth with the Onan project. And I'm excited. I really am excited for you. It's a leap of faith. I know it is. and you are a product of Starkville Public School.
I am.
Correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so of course, being here, that heart, the passion, back then you knew what it was like, and you come here from Colorado, correct?
Yeah, I was gone for 7 years
Wow.
from Starkville and just came back.
Isn't it amazing how we leave, we explore, they say we experience, and then God will say, okay, it's time for you to go back.
Yeah.
You know, to train and to transition your life to help better others. So with that, can you just give us a little insight in regards to the ONAM project? And then you all are actually going to get, in a little bit, a little clip of what she's going to be doing and how it's going to help you even in your individual lives with your children. I know some of you may say, oh my goodness, I don't know what to do with my daughter. Well, guess what? I believe Megan has the answers, and I'm excited. I am so excited for her. So just give us just a little synopsis of what the ONAM project and how it actually birthed out of your spirit.
Okay. Well, my first book is called Creating Your Heaven on Earth. And so after that was published, I realized that I had written it and had not created my heaven on earth at that point. So I thought, how did I write this and not really be living it yet?
Yeah.
So I read my book when it came in book form, and I was like, okay, now I have to go live this. I have to walk my talk now. And that's when Mississippi came into my mind, and I was like, what am I gonna do? And I had no clue, honestly, I had no clue where I was headed, but I just knew I had to quit my job and go. And come to Mississippi and figure it out. And it has come into this just massively huge project for the public school systems across the U.S.
Wow. So, and I want to say this before we take our commercial break. You said something that was so vital, and I heard faith, that this has been a faith walk for you. You know, sometimes God will send you out to battle, but he doesn't send you out as a lone ranger. He equips people to bless you financially and sometimes just to connect with your vision. So you've had to walk that walk of faith, and God say, go, you just left.
Go.
You just do it.
Yeah, for me, it's when something comes into my heart, I have to go.
Amen.
I have to take action, or I'm not going to feel like I'm living my purpose.
Amen.
So you got to go.
You got to go. You got to go and trust God. Listen, we're about to take a commercial break. Get up. Do something now. Go. Move forward and do what God has called you to be.
Baby, in this world, ain't